5-star performance from 5-star Liverpool today against Watford. I cannot wipe this smile off my face. It very, very rarely happens that I've been smiling for pretty much all day. And, I've been watching other bits of football, obviously, since Liverpool played. We were the 12:30 kickoff. Been watching some other games as well. Watched United against Leicester, which was an interesting game as well. Just made me feel even better about today, if I'm being honest. But honestly, incredible performance from every single player on the pitch. And I have to say, it's one of those games where I actually don't think I have anything to complain about. There's nothing to moan about. There's nothing to really critically analyse too much. There's just a whole lot of good today. A massive amount of good today. And it's so rare that you get these types of results in football now. It just doesn't happen. And what I mean by that, not necessarily the scoreline, but the nature of the scoreline and the nature of the game. For the vast majority, I would say, I think maybe the first 20 minutes at least, we were sitting on 88% possession to 12 of Watford. And if I'm going to be critical of Watford, and I'm not being critical of Ranieri because this is his first game in charge, he's only been there 2 weeks. It's got to be down to the team, down to the Watford team. Like, there was barely any threat from them whatsoever. Anything that seemed to try and happen from Watford seemed to come from Salah, and not a great deal. And that actually does come down to us and the way that we played, the way we defended, but also the way that we ran the midfield, we ran the attacking third. Like, we were nothing short today of excellent. And I want to make sure that every single player gets credited with that. Not just the ones that obviously scored the goals or laid on assists or whatever, but everybody in that whole team. And the substitutions as well. They made a difference and they contributed as well in some ways, most notably Nico Williams as well. But we had goals from Sadio Mane, hattrick from Firmino, basically recreating Dirk Kuyt and a hattrick of tap-ins. But you've got to be there to put them in the back of the net, and that is exactly what Firmino did today. And then obviously the one that takes all of the headlines, and why not? He comes back off international duty and he puts a goal in like that again. Did it against Man City, has now done it against Watford. And it was an exceptional performance by Mohamed Salah. If you're going to pick out one or two players, you're probably most likely going to pick out Mohamed Salah. And why wouldn't you? The goal that he scored was absolutely incredible. Just absolutely the epitome of a world-class goal. Saying that, I see people saying, people have been wanting Messi in the Premier League for years. If Messi never arrives in the Premier League, Salah is as close as you're going to get, if not better in some ways right now. Because he is, without a doubt in my mind, the best player, the best attacking player on planet Earth right now. And I say that with my chest. He is the best attacking player on planet Earth right now. You take your Ronaldos, you take your Neymars and Mbappes, you take your Messi, whatever, throw it at me, fine, no worries. And you can call it bias, whatever you want. I don't care. I really don't. Mohamed Salah is the best attacking football player in the world right now. He's been world class for years. We all knew it. Now it seems everybody else is waking up and taking notice once again about Mohamed Salah. However, his first contribution in this game, and I'm not saying first as if it was the only thing that he did, or one of the only things that he did, but his first active contribution in the game is a world-class outside of the boot pass into the path of Sadio Mane, who puts it into the back of the net. A brilliant, fantastic finish, but it's all about the pass. It is all about that pass. The types of passes that you would see the likes of a De Bruyne do, or you'd see possibly maybe even Trent do as well. We've seen, from my recollection, I remember Suarez playing a lot of passes like that, where it'd be the outside of the boot. It was the classic one for Suarez when he was with Liverpool. Outside the boot passes were absolutely exceptional. This was no different. Salah and his playmaking skills are coming to the fore much more this season already. I think he's got 4 assists already in the Premier League. Might be a little bit more, or that might be overall. I can't exactly entirely remember. But what a way to get things going on 9 minutes. We had to wait a little bit for the next one. And basically, once they started coming, especially in the second half as well, it almost felt like they weren't going to stop coming. It almost felt like they literally, the first goal had opened the gate. You know, it put the gate like halfway open. They still would have had a chance to be able to close it. But as soon as we got into the second half, they basically blew the gate off the hinges and just absolutely went at Watford. And no joke, I haven't looked at the stats of this game just yet. I do want to look at it. So we had 19 shots and 8 on target, 6 off target. The rest were saves or blocks. That is absolutely fantastic. Like, incredible possession, incredible amount of shots. Chances created were absolutely plentiful. Absolutely plentiful. Had loads of them as well. Absolutely fantastic. Sometimes we've had a thing of getting stuck in a rut of where we do create a lot of chances but don't actually get many of them on target. Well, we've almost got half of our chances on target. So you'd have 19 shots and 8 of them on target. That's almost half. Not quite, but almost. That's good. That's much more. That's better. And if you go off, if you watch the game, don't just go by stats, but if you watch the game, and how electric did every single player seem in that game? It was absolutely phenomenal. Everyone seemed really, really sharp. Let's not forget as well, and I was genuinely worried about this game. I know I didn't do a preview for it, but I was really worried about this game, whether, what Liverpool were going to turn up for this game, what was going to happen, were we going to feel the effects of not being able to play Alisson and Firmino, which I think that we could have played them, because I think they're allowed to isolate, but they're allowed to train and play. But instead, they've gone straight to Spain because we're going to be playing Atletico Madrid as well. So in the Champions League. So it was a big call from Liverpool, from Jurgen Klopp, to go with the fact that we're not going to be playing Fabinho, we're not going to be playing Alisson either. We're going to go with Kelleher, who every time Kelleher plays, he seems to fill me with more confidence as a number 2, with the prospect maybe in years to come to become a number 1 at Liverpool. Whether he waits that long, that's a conversation for another day. But right now, the performance that he put in, the saves that he made, which weren't very many, but there was definitely one where near the end where he had to, a shot was fired in him, quite a powerful one, and he got good strong hands to it and put it onto the post as well. Took care of that one. Turned out I think it was offside anyway. But regardless of that, he was brilliant. And then the midfield 3, which some people would use to call this type of midfield, if we put Gini Wijnaldum in it, back in the day, would have called it like a Brexit midfield or something like that, with Henderson and Milner. And we had Naby Keita in there as well. James Milner still getting on the assist sheet at the age of, 35, providing for Bobby Firmino for one of his goals. I mean, you can call it a Brexit midfield if you want, but I'm going to call that a decent midfield, a very good midfield. Special mention for Naby Keita as well, in my opinion. Naby Keita and his ball recoveries especially seem to catch my eye. His ball recoveries seem to instantly move Liverpool forward up the pitch. It wasn't a case of win the ball back, shield, pass it to the back to the defence. Everything that Naby Keita seemed to do. Did he get a goal? Did he get an assist? No, he didn't. But he was progressive and he was helping the play move forward. And that's what we needed. That's what we wanted. And that's what we know he can deliver for Liverpool. He's brilliant at that as well. And obviously Captain Jordan Henderson in midfield as well. Striding forward, striding backwards. Played box to box pretty much all game. And played it very, very, very well as well. Sadio Mane scoring his 100th goal for Liverpool as well. Sorry, scoring his 100th Premier League goal, I should say. Not just with Liverpool. His 100th Premier League goal. Fantastic for Mane, who looks sharp and bang in form himself as well. And obviously Salah, what more can you say about him? Absolutely phenomenal talent. Absolutely incredible, world-class player. And then we got likes of Bobby Firmino in there. Scores a hat-trick. Doesn't get the man of the match. He gets the man of the match on on statistics apps, but online, obviously, Salah's getting the man of the match because his performance was sublime. But as I said before, you've got to be in the right places at the right time to put the balls in the back of the net, to deal with what is dealt to you. And that is what Firmino did exceptionally well today. Absolutely incredible performance. Now, let me also make a special mention for the defence. They don't need a special mention, really, because if we go back to the stats, they had 6 shots, 3 of them were off target, 2 on target. They didn't create a great deal. We outpassed them by a ridiculous amount. Watford made 165 passes throughout that whole game. Liverpool made 711. You could tell where the control was just from the stats alone. But special mention to the defence, Virgil van Dijk literally lives up to what they say in his song, Calm As You Like. That one moment that I know is going viral at the moment on social media is where he's running down the wing, or he's running back to defend a ball that's in the air. He's looking, and honest to God, he looks absolutely cool as a cucumber. Absolutely cool as. Just literally just like backheaders it a little bit, holds off his man, passes it onto Andy Robertson, and doesn't even break a sweat or doesn't even look a little bit concerned or worried, because you know what? He knew he was going to get there, and he did, because he's world class himself. Joel Matip striding through the midfield is a wonderful thing. It's an incredible thing to see. It really, really is. I don't know if it's because he's quite slim in stature himself. You know, I don't want to say that he's skinny or scrawny, because I don't think that's a nice thing to say. But you can tell, as a slimmer guy than someone like, say, Virgil van Dijk, who's, you know, he's quite muscular himself. When you see Joel Matip striding through midfield at pace with confidence and laying balls off left, right and centre and getting back and defending well, incredible. Brilliant performance. And the same goes for Trent and Andy Robertson. There was a lot of criticism for Robertson after the Brentford game, especially. There was a lot of criticism for him about his performance in that one. I think, you know, we can say that's clearly just a bit of a blip for Andy Robertson in that game. He's been brilliant ever since, and he was absolutely exceptional in this game as well. And the same goes for Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. Honestly, I can't criticise any member of this team. I cannot criticise anybody. Also, special mention to Nico Williams coming on and being the man that drove forward for the final goal of the game as well. I think was it from a throw-in or something like that, the circumstance was, and he's just in the perfect position to drive at that defence or drive across the defence and put in a powerful cross ball across the floor. Bobby Firmino taps it in, and it was absolutely brilliant there. It is honestly, I cannot explain how happy I am with that performance today. I really can't. Other substitutions was Tsimikas coming on for Andy Robertson. Nico Williams came on for... Who did he come on for? Let me just try and remember. Oh, he came on for... I think Oxlade-Chamberlain came on for Trent, I think, and Milner moved to right back, and then Nico Williams came on for Milner. So both of them ended up getting assists as well. Brilliant performance by every single person on the pitch. And the table as it stands right now at this very second, because Chelsea are currently winning their game, we stand top of the table on 18 points, with Man City and Chelsea both on 17 points. Brighton in 4th place, who drew today, they still only have 1 loss. Brighton are incredible, man. They really are. They absolutely are. And then after that, it becomes Manchester United on 14 after losing today against Leicester. Everton in 6th on 14th as well. Brentford currently losing to Chelsea at the moment on 13 points. It's a madness. Wolves came back from 2-0 down today against Aston Villa, and like in the last 10 minutes scored 3 goals and won it. The Premier League has been mad today, probably apart from City's game against Burnley where they won 2-0. That's kind of expected, but like absolutely bonkers games that are happening right now in the Premier League, and I am so glad the Premier League's back. There's no point in me moaning about the international break. Everybody who watches this channel knows that I don't like it, and I never will. Even if England go out and win the World Cup, it just does not mean as much to me as it does with Liverpool. And that is just a fact. I'm just being completely honest with you. That is just how it is for me. Anyway, we are top of the table. We are the only undefeated team after 8 games, 5 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below, guys, because you know what? Having an early kickoff at 12:30 normally is a bit of a ball ache, probably as Klopp would like to say. But when you go out and you blast the team away 5-0, there really cannot be any complaints at all. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this game and your thoughts moving forward, because if I remember rightly, and I need to double check this now before I actually go and say it, our next match in the Premier League, Sunday, Manchester United at 4:30. Massive week of games because we've got Atletico Madrid on Tuesday, Man United on Sunday. Big times ahead, but we can deal with them because that's what we do, because we are Liverpool and we are currently and just genuinely always awesome. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have liked it, please do feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you later.